Hello everyone. In today's video we will talk about the var and let difference. So var is available in all versions of JavaScript, while let and const are part of ECMAScript 6. Var is scoped to the containing function or the global space, depending when it is declared. So let's check this example. We declare var over here, so it has the global scope. Then we declare and define a function. Inside we redeclare a with var, therefore it's inside a function, so it has function scope. So let's now try to print a. So the first output, it will be 10 because at the beginning it has the global scope. However, as we try to invoke this function, basically as this function runs, a, as it has been declared once again, it will have the value of 7. So therefore, when we invoke this function, the value will be 7 and not 10, even though is outside of the function a has value of 10. However, after the function has been executed, we will try to print a again, and this time it will have the value 10 again, because it's not in the function anymore. Well, so as we said, the var is scoped to the containing function or the global space. Well, that means it escapes the if statements and all similar block constructs. Let's check now this example. We declare x with var, then we redeclare x with var, and we change the value to it. However, if we output the value of x, it will be 7, even though if it's inside this block. What does it mean? Well, as I said, var escapes if statements. Therefore, this variable overwrites this one. Here we can say there is a loop. We will talk about loops later in the course. Here we have the declaration of I, and as the loops go on, I will get the value of 4, and when we try to output the value of I outside of the loop, even though if it's inside the for loop block, we will still have the value of I declared with var. Same with j. It has been declared inside a for loop. However, we will have the value of it even outside of this block. Now let's check the same situation but with the let keyword. So we declare the variable x with let, and we will go inside this if statement. We will talk about if later in the course as well, and we redeclare the x variable and we assign the value of 7. If we try to output the value of x, it will be 7. Therefore, considering that when we declare with let it has block scope, it takes the value of this variable, not of the one outside of the block scope. However, when we go inside this loop and we declare with let I inside the loop or j inside the loop, and we try to output the values of I and j outside of the loop, we will get a reference error. Why? Because they are not defined outside of the block scope. Now let's talk about redeclaration. We can declare a variable twice using var, and it doesn't produce any errors, even though if they are the same. Var x4, var x7. We are assigning the same variable twice. It will obviously have the value of 7 because this is defined after this line. However, if we try to do the same with the let keyword, we will have a type error. So we declare the variable x, and then we declare once again the same variable name. We will get an error. Why? Because x has already been declared. Obviously, considering that with declaring with the let keyword we have the block scope, if we declare I outside of the block scope, we can declare I once again inside the block scope, and we'll have the output of 6 in this case, because it will take the value of 6 inside the block scope. And if we try to print the output outside of the block scope, well, it will take the global variable 5. Now let's talk about hoisting. Variables declared both with var and let are hoisted. The difference is what a variable declared with var can be referenced before its own assignment, since it gets automatically assigned with undefined as its value, but the let keyword can't. It specifically requires the variable to be declared before being invoked. Let's check this example. We will try to get the output of x and y before we define them and declare them. So when we do it with var, as you can see, there is no error. We'll get the output of undefined, even though it has been declared later. However, if we do the same with the let keyword, we will have the reference error because y is not defined. Well, how this let has been introduced in order to optimize JavaScript and the var keyword, because considering that we can use the x variable before it has been declared, that can bring a lot of errors during our during coding. And how to avoid it? Well, you can use strict at the top of the script. For example, we would have to do like this, use strict, and basically when it is located at the top of a script, the whole scripts work the modern way. So the var would not anymore have the value of undefined, but it will have we will get a reference error because we have used use strict. Now let's talk about global variable declaration. So in the top scope, or outside any functions and blocks, var declarations put an element in the global object. Let's see. Var x and assign the value of 4. We can cancel, get on the console this x. However, we cannot do it with the let keyword. We'll get the value of undefined. You might not understand as for now what does it mean. However, I will explain later when we will work with the global object in the future videos. Alright, thank you for tuning in and see you in the next video.